I am Dr. Smithy Sanel George, Senior Consultant Gynecologist working at Sunrise Hospital, Kochi. I am also the Organizing Secretary of the 38th All Kerala Congress of Obstetricians and Gynaecology being held at Gokulam Convention Center, Kallur this year. Actually, this year the state conference is being hosted by the Cochin Obstetrics or Gynec Society, which is also called as COGS or COGS. We have around 250 members in this organization, which actually the district of Ernakulam. All the doctors in and around Cochin district, Cochin city come into under this organization. We are a very vibrant, dynamic society with lot of our doctors taking active part in social concerns like adolescent health, premarital counseling centers. We have cancer awareness programs and various public health talks are given on TV, in the media, etc. So this year at the national level, we have around 250 such societies. Similar to the Cochin Gynec Society, we have around 250 societies, and we form the FOGSI. FOGSI is the Federation of Obstetric and Gynec Society of India. So this organization has around 25,000 gynecologists with around 250 societies like this. And at the national level, Kochi managed to get 2 prizes this year for our work among adolescents in schools and colleges, and also for our population stabilization programs, that is about family planning and family control measures. So this year we are hosting the 38th All Kerala Obstetrics and Gynec Society Congress this year, and we have had a record participation of around 1050 delegates. That is, in Kerala we have around 1500 to 2000 gynecologists, and usually every year the state conference is attended by around 500 to 600 delegates, but this year we were very surprised to have more than 1000 delegates for this conference. The highlights of this conference are that we have different workshops to improve the life skills of these doctors. The first workshop is definitely the obstetric workshop, where you improve the skills of the doctor taking care of deliveries and mothers and babies, etc. Then we have the infertility workshop. See, actually infertility is on the rise in our society. It was around 15% previously, but now statistics say that number of infertile couples, that is people without children, have gone up to 25%, and so we had an infertility workshop to improve the life skills of those doctors. Then we have a third workshop, which is the laparoscopic workshop. This was a live workshop. The surgeries were done yesterday. Around 10 to 15 surgeries were done live at Sunrise Hospital, and it was transmitted to the Gokulam Convention Center by the audiovisual team, and we had a LED screen which had very good visual acuity for that program. So that was the first day. Then next 2 days we have lot of faculty coming from outside India, that we have 2 people coming from Malaysia and UK. Then we have lot of faculty coming from Bombay, Madras, Delhi, etc. to share their experience, around 8 of them. Then we have lot of faculty from our state itself. We have around 90 to 120 faculty coming from the states itself to share their expertise in various areas of interest in this field. Actually, Kerala is very blessed to have one best of the health indicators in the whole of India, and that I primarily feel is because of female literacy. Female literacy in Kerala is around 95%, and that itself empowers the woman to decide on what sort of health care she can get, how she can shape and plan her family. And in addition to that, the doctors are very active in taking care of various aspects of the woman's life. For example, I said about the adolescent health. Lot of children in the adolescent period have a lot of doubts about the changes that occur in their body, about lot of gynec problems that they have, and we regularly go to the schools and colleges and take classes for them to give that awareness of what is happening during that adolescent period. Then we have the next segment, that is the premarital counseling. That is couples who are going to get married. The gynecologists go and take classes for them and to tell them how to start a family, what are the do's and the don'ts, and a lot of things which they would want to ask and it's not possible at a one-to-one level. So these doctors go and take those classes. Then we have a lot of other programs about health education talks at various clubs like the Rotary Club, Lions Club. They arrange talks for us, and also the TV and the public newspapers are also very active in Kerala. They arrange talks for doctors so that the health issues are addressed and awareness is created among the public. Actually, when you look at the segment of population of Kerala, large bulk of them fall to the middle class or the lower middle class group. So all of them cannot access a corporate hospital because of the cost. So that is where the mission hospitals come in. Mission hospitals in Kerala, I think we have at least around 8 to 10 major mission hospitals which are like 800 to 1000 beds. So what happens is these lower middle class and middle class people can go for their health issues to these hospitals. They are reasonably charged for the middle class person also. But corporate setup is definitely for the higher end because the cost is definitely on the higher side. So, or for super speciality facilities they can go to a corporate hospital. But for the average middle class person, definitely the mission hospitals are more accessible. Thing is, I have worked for 20 years in a mission hospital, and not one mission hospital. Actually, I worked in 3 different mission hospitals, and we used to have around 200 deliveries per month. That is, we used to cater to around 2,500 deliveries a year. So if you take 20 years, it's something like 50,000 deliveries I must have handled. Okay, so then I felt the need, now that when you talk about a woman gynecologist, family is also very important. At that stage, the hospital close to my house was a mission hospital. Now that my children are all grown up and well settled, I've got the freedom to move on to a corporate setup and improve my laparoscopic skills, because laparoscopy is a highly skilled job, and now I've got the opportunity to move on to improve my skills and better my career. Primarily, I feel it is because of female literacy, and this female literacy has empowered the woman to choose what she wants and limit her family size. So even if they have only 2 children, they are able to take care of those 2 children well, space the children properly. Because in other states, what I feel is women deliver almost every 2 years and they produce a number of children, and 1 or 2 of them might actually die in the process of giving birth or in the first year itself. But these things don't happen in Kerala because they are able to access the health care and take care of their families better. So I think the key to all this improvement is because of education. Kerala's maternal mortality is around 50 per 1 lakh live births. That is, when 1 lakh babies are born every year, 50 women lose their life. So in Kerala, we have at the moment around 4.5 lakh newborn deliveries every year. So that means around 200 women still die in the process of childbirth. Now this is the best in the whole of India. Like if you compare states like UP and Bihar, it's like 400 to 600. That is, around 400 to 600 women die when they give birth to 1 lakh children. But this is, even though we are doing the best, Kerala is doing best in India, we have not reached the standards of UK, US, etc. They have digital maternal mortality. That is, when 1 lakh babies are born, then only 10 mothers die. So we are still, hoping and aiming at reaching that digital number. Now, how this can be achieved is, the doctors are doing their best. But what I feel is, all the 5 lakh deliveries cannot take place in big setups where all facilities are available. Some of the deliveries will have to take place in smaller setups, and when there is a complication like bleeding after a delivery, we must be able to transport this patient to a tertiary care center. That is where the public and the media come in, because I remember seeing a movie called Traffic, where a heart is taken, heart transplant, and in the traffic is all arranged in such a way that the beating heart is reaching the recipient. You know, that sort of care is needed for a woman who has just delivered and she is losing blood. A woman after delivery, when she is losing blood, it's called PPH, and in PPH it's called postpartum hemorrhage. In postpartum hemorrhage, a woman has around 5 liters of blood. Within 1 hour she can lose 3 liters. So that 1 hour is very vital to shift this patient from a small hospital to a major care hospital. And that is where we see the doctor can't do anything. The doctor doesn't know how to manage traffic. She can't find the transport facility, all these things, or arrange blood also. Blood bank is not available in all the hospitals. Only in major hospitals you have blood bank facility. So such a bleeding woman will require sometimes 20, I have given 50 bottles of blood to save such patients. So where do you get this 50 bottles of blood? The public has to be aware, and they have to know that, see, this is a young woman dying. She is only in her 25 or 30 and she is dying, doing something which is so vital for the society, giving birth. So she should not be dying, and we should all put our hands together and help this woman, help the hospital, help the doctors to take care of this woman. But usually what happens is, when something goes wrong, the public gets very angry with the doctor. They start finding fault. They start throwing stones at the hospital. They think some wrong drug has been given, that is why this woman is bleeding. It is not like that. Postpartum hemorrhage or the bleeding after delivery is something that can happen to anybody anytime. We cannot say it is going to happen to this person or that person. Just like a heart attack can just take away the life of anybody, it can happen to anybody at any time. So the public and the media should be with the doctor, supporting her to give the best care, transferring her to the best center possible, so that we can save a mother's life. Because a mother's life is very important when you are talking about a newborn baby. When the mother goes, that newborn baby is at a big loss. The family is at a big loss. So the entire picture, if you look, that mother's life is extremely important. Scenario in Kerala, see, with the economic prosperity that has come in, even a coolie gets 700 rupees per day. So you can imagine, if a coolie works the entire month, he can earn around 15,000 rupees per day, which is something which a graduate or a person like that can earn. So the economic prosperity has made all the people very sedentary. Sedentary means they are all sitting and doing their jobs. So the minimum distance a human being should walk a day is 4 kilometers. But how many of us do walk 4 kilometers a day? So all of us are sedentary. So that is one of the basic reasons why cesarean rates is going up. Previously, women used to work in the fields, they used to carry matkas of water, they had to do so much of physical labor. But now that's all gone. We have all machineries, we are all moving around in cars. So we don't have much of physical activity. So what happens is that physical activity itself makes you more prone for cesarean. I have heard that in previous generation, women used to just come from the fields, they are working in the field, and they used to just come and deliver. But they have been working so long, so many years they are working in the field. But here now nobody is working in the field, nobody is having any housework. So naturally childbirth has become a big process. And the second thing is, the girls themselves are very petted and pampered at home. Like we have one daughter, most of the people will have one daughter. So they don't want their daughter to have any pain. So the moment the daughter starts crying, the mother will cry more. Mother will say, please do cesarean for my daughter, don't let my daughter go through all the pain and suffering. I don't want my daughter to suffer. So that is another very wrong message we are giving our children. Human life has got lot of pain, lot of suffering. You cannot separate pain and suffering from human life. So we all must be able to take whatever suffering comes our way, and that must be the example we give to the next generation, because without pain there is no gain. So I think these are lot of issues which have to be discussed, because patients think that childbirth is something normal, baby will just come out like that. Baby will not come out like that. If you do good hard work, baby will come out very simply like it is to come out 50 years back. If we are all sitting on the desk and doing office work, baby will also sit there like that. So that is the important thing we have to tell the public. See, Feminine Forever is an initiative of the Cochin Obstetrics and Gynec Society. We have lot of doctors who are up to the age of 70 or 70 and 75 who are still very active. Now human life, when you look at it, professional life, you have to mix some amount of professional life with some amount of leisure, some amount of family relationship, everything together, so that we all age gracefully, that we are at 40 we are fit, at 50 we are also fit, and you continue to be fit physically, mentally, emotionally, every way till we are 80 or more. So this whole process has to be given not only to the doctors but also to the public. Usually after 1 or 2 deliveries, women think that it's okay to be very flabby and now my life is it's all enough. It's not like that. After each delivery you should shed those extra kilos, you should get back into shape, you should maintain your physical health. It's very important, because physical health is associated with mental health, emotional health, relationship health, all sorts of health. It is very connected. So this whole process of Feminine Forever is a process of aging gracefully, so that even at 80 you feel that you have lived your life to the full. See, many people have lived up to 80, but then they don't feel that happy. But even at 80, I feel that you should feel, not only have you lived the length of your life, but you have lived the width of your life. You have lived to whatever you feel you want to achieve.